show you how to do a couple of these. Well, one quick example of how to do all the hypothesis testing for proportions, a proportion claim, using technology only to save you quite a bit of work. Let's see if I can get this to work here. Got a problem there. Let me get the calculator. You might get your calculator and go through with me. I think it'll probably help you quite a bit to kind of go through it. Let's see here. Looks good. Okay. Problem over here says the Mars Candy Company claims that the percentage of brown M&Ms is equal to 13%. A sample from 100 M&Ms show 8% are brown. Use a 0.05 significance level to test the Mars Candy Company claim. And I went ahead down here and wrote the hole in the ha. As P is 0.13 and the alternative hypothesis is not equal to 0.13. So on your, on your TI 8384, if you go to stat, different from second bar, it's just stat, and go over where it says test. If you look down at number 5, it says one prop test. That's what I'm going up, stands for obviously one proportion test, which we're doing just one proportion. So hit enter. It's going to ask you a couple things here. First thing is basically asking what is your null P, and we're doing 0.13. So I'm going point, I didn't mean to do that. Go back right there. 0.13. X is how many. Now you may have to figure this one out. It said 8% of 100. I used the easy number, so it'd be easy, but 8% of 100 is 8. So my X is 8. My N is 100 and the sample size. So 8%, and if you didn't know that in your head, you could just do 0.08 times whatever the sample size was. You do have to tell it what kind of test it is. Is it two-tailed, left-tailed, right-tailed? This one, because it's not equals, is two-tailed. It's not equal to. We're going to go down to where it says calculate down here, hit enter, and voila. All of a sudden, it tells you what your Z is, which is your test stat, negative 1.48. And remember, with a 0.05 significance level, my critical value was, what was that? That would be like 1.96. So that's not quite there. And also look at my p-value. It gives you your p-value. It even doubles it for you all by itself. And p-value is 0.1371, which is obviously bigger than 0.05. So that means we would fail to reject the null, which means we would have not sufficient evidence to reject the claim that the M&Ms is equal to 13%. Okay, so the brown M&Ms. So let me show you one more way on StatCrunch doing the exact same thing. If I can get there, if I can figure this out. Let's give it a shot here. That was not what I wanted to do. Thanks for your patience. Okay, StatCrunch I have open down here, and I've already worked it. Need to get out of there and hide it from you guys. So what you do is you go to stat and go to where it says proportion stats. Now over here it's one sample or two. We're just doing one sample right now. You have two choices with data or with summary. With data means you actually have a list of numbers you're going to punch in. Summary just means you have the, like what the sample size is, like we already do. So I'm going to go with summary, and it opens up the same kind of deal. Number of successes, we said there were 8 out of 100, so I'm going to do 8 out of 100 there. Hypothesis test, the P was equal to 0.13, so I'm going to put that here. And it automatically does your alternate for you, and obviously right there you can change this if you need to a left tail, right tail. This is two tail. Don't worry about the confidence interval. We're not going to worry with that. And I'm going to do store in a data table. And also I'm going to show you what the p-value plot looks like. Hit compute. And of course, there must be a number in the null hypothesis. Oops, I put 2 decimals there. Way to go. Now hit compute. And the first thing I get over here is just a, tell me what I did. That's the null and alternative. So if I hit the arrow here, it gives me the graph. That's the two-tailed test. It shows you where the critical value is, or the z-stat, our test statistic, negative 1.4 is right there. Our p-value, it shades in your rejection zone for you. But that's not quite probably as important as, oh no, I just lost it. See if I get it back. I'm not sure what happened right there. I'm trying to get it back. Let's see. Let's do show. Okay, there's that one. There's the table. This is awesome. I've lost it and I can't get it back. Let's see if I can figure out where that came from. Okay, I don't know. So I'm just gonna do it again. I'm just lost here. So go to stat, prop stats, one sample with summary. Punch it again. That was 8 out of 100. And it was the null was 0.13. There you go. Don't worry about confidence interval. I'm just going to store in a data table because that's what I lost a second ago. Hit compute. And if you look over here at the top of the screen, it tells you everything you need to know. This is what I always typed in. Error, we'll get to that later. This Z-stat right there, that is your that's your test statistic. Here's your p-value. The same thing. It's the exact same two numbers I got on the calculator. Imagine that. So there they are. So because my p again is above 0.05, I've failed to reject the null, and you know how to write the sentence from there. So hope that made a little bit of sense. This is going to make your life much easier, especially not having to calculate a test statistic every time. So we'll do the same kind of stuff again in class one more day tomorrow. I know you've probably done, pretty tired of this because it's about the third day, but it's going to be so much better because you can either use your StatCrunch or your calculator. So it's going to come down more to just writing your sentence than all the calculations we've been doing. So I'll see you there. See you, bye.